Welcome to the Crown Crafted Music Series. This is a series that is produced by One Kansas City Radio in sponsorship and partnership with the Mid-Continent Public Library. Today, I am excited to bring you Enrique and Juan Carlos from Making Movies. Please enjoy the show, and we'll be taking a break halfway through to have a chat with them.
Saludos. Nosotros somos Chaurand.
Pero por causa de cosas legales, la botellecita de ron que usualmente usamos para estos eventos no lo podemos enseñar en la cámara. Pero mi nombre es Enrique Chi.
Yo soy Juan Carlos Chaurand.
Y tal vez nos conoces de la banda Making Movies. You may have seen us perform under the band Making Movies, but when it's just the duo, we have a different band name. We're called Chicharrón. All right. This is the Chicharrón performance. It means we're going to play all kinds of music. Just songs that we've learned throughout the years on our journey. We'll start out with a Making Movies song called La Marcha. No te quiero ver, córrete de mí, yo no te quiero ver a más. Quítate de aquí, yo no te quiero ver, córrete de mí, yo no te quiero ver a más. Se aminora la marcha, se aminora la marcha. Córrete de mí, eres mi pesadilla. Oye, me han pisado como una hormiga. Quítate de mí, eres mi pesadilla. Se aminora la marcha, se aminora la marcha. Se aminora la marcha, se aminora la marcha. Juan Carlos. Muchas gracias. Thank you all so much. There's a little cumbia that Making Movies wrote actually like 10 years ago, but we just released it last year, or this year. Earlier this year. That's right. We're going to play another little dancey number for you, an older Making Movies song called Cuna de Vida. Carne y hueso, dame un beso, no dejes de venir aquí. Calor y sueño, deseo ser tu dueño, comer de tu jardín. Dice, dame un beso, estoy tan arrecho, no te vayas de mí. Ojo a ojo, pecho a pecho, lo mejor que vivir es cuando dices carne y mente, agua ardiente, baja tus rodillas. Quita esos lentes, todo es decente, no corras ese día. Cuando éramos chicos, amor era lindo, cadera encima de mí. Cubrí tu boca, tu mamá no te oiga, ritmo no quiebra aquí. Cubrí tu boca, tu mamá no te oiga, lo mejor de vivir es cuando dices ella tan atrevida me lleva a la cuna de vida. Ella, mi atrevida, me lleva a la cuna de vida. Me lleva a la cuna de vida. Ella, tan atrevida, me lleva cuna de vida. Ella me lleva con su ritmo y sus labios. Cuna de vida. Qué sabroso hacer el amor. Cuna de vida. Ella me lleva, ella me cuida en la cuna de vida. Cuna de la vida, ella me llevó. Cuna de vida. Qué sabroso hacer el amor ahí. Cuna de vida. Qué sabroso hacer el amor ahí. Cuna de vida. Ella me lleva, ella me cuida en la cuna de la vida. Cuna de vida. La cuna de la vida. Ella me lleva a la cuna de vida. Woo! I'm having a good time. We actually are taping this in the midst of No Shave November. So this is way earlier than you all will see this, but this right here
So I guess you will see it.
is an experiment to
Correct.
see
Where you're at.
where I'll end up at the end of November. So, you know, I guess check our social media. Oh, this is a good point. We could plug our social media. So you could check on Instagram the progress of this mustache. If you want to know more, you can head to makingmoviesband.world and find all of our social media connecting points there.
Nosotros somos
Chaurand.
Ron.
And
There it is.
unfortunately, our bottle of Ron could not be shown in this, this thing for the Mid-Continent Library and for 1KC Radio. But we are grateful to be here. We are, in my opinion, the better looking half of Making Movies.
That is
And
100% correct.
yeah, and we're going to keep playing some songs for you all. This next song is in English. We've been doing a couple Spanish songs, but just like our lives are in both languages, our music is in both languages. And this is a tune called Tired of Giving In. something sweet. La da da da. Oh wait, you only lived on movie screens. You were my own little queen, but they killed you in the final scene. I've been lied to time and time again. Yeah, I'm tired. Well, I'm tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. Oh, would you let me begin? So tired, so tired. Well, I sold my soul to a well-oiled machine. I guess I like making silly things. I guess I like making silly things. Between you and me, is there no one clean? We all ate from the forbidden tree. It was sweet, wouldn't you agree? Now I'm used up like an old syringe. Pull it out. I'm tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. Look at this state I'm in. So tired, just so tired. Let me out. Ba, ba, ba. Let me out. Ba, ba, ba. Let me out. Sold my soul down in New Orleans. I guess I just ran out of steam. The lights are out and the lines are dead. We're waiting as the flood recedes. I don't even know what I need. Would we know if it's the end? I've been lied to time and time again. I'm tired, well, I'm tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. Look at this state I'm in. So tired, just so tired. Why am I here again? So tired, so tired. So tired of giving in. So tired, just so tired. Let me out. Ba, ba, ba. Let me out. Ba, ba, ba. Let me out. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Mid-Continent Library, 1KC Radio, for creating spaces for artists, especially artists from diverse communities. That's a wonderful thing. With all our joke about Chaurand, it is a wonderful thing to make music for you all. When we dove into creating music, we knew that we wanted to represent all of our identity, not leave any piece of it at the door. And being born in Santiago, Panama, and Juan Carlos's family is from Mexico, we grew up with both the richness of those cultures, but through our fathers, both Enrique Chi and Enrique Chaurand,
Tocayos.
Los Tocayos, we developed a love for rock and roll. And as we dove deeper into understanding where rock and roll comes from, you realize, of course, it comes from the blues. But there's a bigger truth the same place that rock and roll comes from, that same soup melting pot of cultures, those are the same ingredients for Latino music. It's this crazy blend that only happened in the Americas of African folks, indigenous folks, European folks, colliding, clashing, some horrible things and some beautiful things. But one amazing product of this is this music. And that's why we feel comfortable playing in English and Spanish, playing rock and roll or swinging to a cumbia, because all those styles of music are born out of the same ingredients and just slightly different recipes in that stew. And with that in mind, we're going to play a classic blues song by Robert Johnson. This song's called Hellhound on My Trail. I've got to keep moving. I got to keep moving. Blues falling down like hail. Blues falling down like hail. Oh, yeah. And the day keeps telling me there's a hellhound on my trail. If today was Christmas Eve, if today was Christmas Eve, tomorrow Christmas Day, oh, we'd have a time now. If today was Christmas Eve, and tomorrow Christmas Day, I wouldn't need my sweet rider to blow these blues away. You sprinkle hot foot powder, oh, all around my door. You sprinkled hot foot powder all around your daddy's door. So it keeps me searching, a heavy rider everywhere I go. I can tell the wind is rising. I can tell the wind is rising. The leaves are swinging on the trees. I can tell the wind is rising. Oh, these leaves are swinging on the trees. I'll need my sweet rider. Oh, baby, give me some company. Oh, there's a hellhound on my trail. So this is a great moment to take a little pause, and we're going to have a conversation with the folks here at 1KC Radio and tell you a little bit more about our music. For all of y'all who are tuned in, my name is Enrique, this is Juan Carlos, and you can follow us mostly through our project, Making Movies. And the best way to find more information about that is makingmovies.world. All right, we'll be right back with you all.
All right, you're tuned into the Crown Crafted Music Series. We are here with Enrique and Juan Carlos from Making Movies. Hey guys, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So we just saw the first half of the show. It was amazing. I'm sorry that you guys couldn't be here in person. I was able to, but the music is amazing. So you guys touched on it already throughout the show that you guys are very passionate about really bringing music to like the youth and minority groups. So my first question is, how did you guys get introduced to the resources in your community for music?
Well, my family has been involved in the community for a long time here in Kansas City, Missouri. My mother started a dance group called El Grupo Atotonilco, a Mexican folkloric dance group in the West Side 40 years ago, and it's still going on really strong. And so we've always been involved. And then also the family just having a family restaurant, being in the nonprofit kind of sector. And so we've been able to kind of just navigate knowing people throughout the community. And so when we have, through the travels, through touring, we have met people who've been doing good work like that in other communities and other cities. And we kind of just decided that we knew that we had to do something here in Kansas City for young artists, for music.
I would say that we felt that there weren't those resources.
Mm-hmm.
At least we weren't aware of them, and especially in like the neighborhood where we started the program is in the historic Northeast, and at the time it was fully a music desert. Like now the Harmony Project has moved in, teaching violin lessons. They do great work too, but we wanted to just like plant a seed for something that would ignite this passion for music, and so we called it the Ignition Camp, and we keep the tradition going strong. Well, this Ignition Camp, it did ignite a not-for-profit that we founded, Art as Mentorship, but also ignited another one called Base Academy of Music that our friend Clint Velasquez runs. And they have 150 students. You can get your lesson price reduced down to even $5 if you qualify for certain parameters. And so in a way, we didn't know that would happen, but it ignited a lot of other beautiful stuff, and it's been a really neat journey to see that.
That's awesome. And I asked that question because I felt like it could go either way, right? You guys either found resources in your community and within your families and with your friend groups and got into music and followed that path, or like you said, there weren't those resources and it came out of a necessity. So it's really cool to see that you guys have really put in the work in the community and you're helping out a lot of young Black and brown and just young people in general out here to get into music. And so, we do this in conjunction with the Mid-Continent Public Library, and libraries are a resource, and we want people to go and use their resources in their communities. So that takes me to just, can you guys elaborate more on the programs that you guys have created?
Yeah, so Art as Mentorship in 2022, this is timed kind of perfectly because we're just kicking into our programming. We have a program called the Rebel Song Academy. That's a 12-week program where a young artist that wants to make any kind of music but make their own music, raise their own voice, they can go through it, and not only are they tapped into a network of Grammy-winning musicians, like we flew Steve Berlin in from Los Lobos to record the Rebel Song Academy 2 years in a row. Then with COVID we did it more virtually, but this is a 12-week program, and what's really beautiful about it is that the curriculum is designed and written with think tanks that included leaders like Julian from the Nelson, leaders like Steve Berlin of Los Lobos, of their various fields, but also art therapists. Sherry Jacobs, a very gifted art therapist, helped us write the fundamental pieces, and we are experiencing an epidemic of mental health, a crisis of mental health for young people. Suicide attempts are through the roof. Like the numbers are honestly very scary. And music is a portal to connect to those parts of the mind because it comes from those parts of the mind. This is not a moment to get into the biology, but it's biologically connected to the places where trauma and those things exist. And so to us, we didn't know all of this when we started a music camp 10 years ago, but the journey has led us to have really smart people that helped us remember or understand why music kind of helped us heal certain things. And that's what the Rebel Song Academy is all about. You asked me the programs, and I just went on a long, spiritual tangent of why we do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's important to talk about that, because what a lot of people don't realize is it's not as cut and dry as I want to do music. It's more so I want to do music because I feel a way and because I want to express myself. And sometimes there are things that inhibit that, or that go against that. And so the resources or just the mentality of how to overcome that is something that I feel a lot of young people really need to hear. And not just once. It takes an average of 7 times to sell something, if anybody's in sales out there. So you do really have to repeat yourself to people so they remember and they know what is out there for them.
Absolutely. So the other programs, Rebel Song Academy, we're looking for a small group of very talented young songwriters, and they get amazing opportunities to get recording time in the studio that we built out at Interurban Art House. And then that wraps up, it's 12 weeks, wraps up entering the summer, then the Ignition Camp happens, and that's a basically free music camp as well. And that's, if you've never touched an instrument, you don't know what you want to do with music, come have fun, and you're going to have a great time. And then we are launching something we've never done before, the All Stars program. And so this is more about a musicianship and getting a young band together to support those songwriters. And so that'll be a 3-week summer camp. And then that puts us right at our festival in September. I don't think we can announce the date just yet or the lineup, but Celebrate Americana. This idea, celebrate American music in a broader sense of the word than it's often presented. Will be coming to the Crossroads. So stay tuned. That's just a beautiful concert. The kids will perform. Amazing acts. We'll bring in our network of talented people, and it helps fund the stuff like you just heard me describe. So buy your tickets as soon as we announce them, please. Thank you.
Ooh, we're excited about that. You guys have a lot of stuff going on. That is really, it's just impressive to see how much you guys have going on in the community, and then you're also artists and making music. Right, and they're making movies. So, so just to kind of go into it, you mentioned Americana, right? So the documentary that you guys did, we can kind of merge a few things here, because I know our audience is interested in music, but I know a lot of you guys are interested in just media in general or storytelling. And so, how did you guys get inspired to do that?
It just happened by chance, actually. We were recording a new album, and we recorded it in Memphis at this studio called Memphis Magnetic. And it's a beautiful studio that we were told by our manager, and he had told us about the studio there, and so we went to check it out, and it's a beautiful space. And so we were able to collaborate with some artists who were there, because Memphis is a hub for so many amazing musicians. And we got to talking to some people, and it just kind of led from one thing to another. So we documented it as well. We documented the whole process of our recording. So as we had the collaborations and stuff, we were like, well, let's figure out how can we just continue with this story, because I didn't know the story of Memphis music that much, or a lot of things that have come out of Memphis. Even just Royal Studios there, that was where Al Green recorded all of his hits, and we got to collaborate with his organist. And so just we're like, okay, well, how did this even happen? Where did this all get started? Can we hear your story? And once we started hearing different stories, we're like, we just need to keep on learning more about how all this music came to be, and American music, because it comes from the United States. They're in Memphis, Tennessee. So, and there's just so many things that have linked us with Memphis, Kansas City, Louisiana, the ports, even all the way to Cuba, Africa, and we just kind of telling that narrative from one end to the other, and it was just inspiring. And so we got to have this chance to be able to make the documentary without even trying to.
We were making a live stream.
Yeah.
So that's why we started to pull out cameras, and we're like, well, we can't play concerts. Let's make a live stream and let's do something. Let's tell the story of what, like you said, we were just inspired. And we just wanted to share what we were learning. I mean, crazy stuff. If you watch the film, you can watch it on Kansas City Public Television. It's just able to stream it, and at any point. But Boo Mitchell was telling the story of his dad, Willie Mitchell, who eventually became the owner of Royal Studios. But he was a musician, he was a singer, and he was the best-selling artist on the record label. But they never let him engineer. They didn't let him touch any of the equipment, like all the equipment you see here, because he was black. He's a best-selling singer, and no, you can't touch the board. And the other owner of the studio, one of the owners of the studio, was, according to Boo Mitchell, a certified Klansman. So there's all these realities happening. There's beautiful music being made by a black man in America in the 50s and 60s. There's the collaboration of black and white people in that recording studio. There's the collaboration of a Klansman who's recording black music. How is that possible? But that's the dissonance of America. That's America. Yeah. America is that. And that's happening. And he ended up earning enough wealth to buy a right to the studio. And then he engineered all of Al Green's music. And so like all these classic hits. So that's American music. That's the story. American music is, for much of it, is black music. And often isn't celebrated the way it should be. And the connection there with where the Latino story and the black story, the immigrant stories, those collide. Like we always tell the story that, like mambo and hip hop and stuff, they come out of the same borough of New York City. Like those neighborhoods, those stories are all connected. And that's the purpose of that. We call it a love letter to the heroes of the black, indigenous, immigrant, Latino heroes of American music. And we just want to share that with the world. So it will become, hopefully in the future, more documentaries, more media output, and this festival to just go, yo, kids, you come from heroes. Mm-hmm. Let's do this.
And there's just a rich history that a lot of people don't tap into, right? So you guys are doing the work to actually uncover all of that. And how is it affecting your music? Like, how is it, having found all of that out recently, is that playing into it? Does it just give you a deeper understanding? Has it helped you evolve?
Certainly helped us evolve.
Yeah, I think it's kind of all the above. I think we were re-inspired when we were recording the album there, and just having these artists collaborate with us, like I said, they just seeing where they come from and how they grew up with music is completely different from our stories. And I never knew any of that information. I never knew that history. And so I'm also kind of ignorant to all that history. And so it was nice to be able to see that. And of course, when you hear that stuff, you're just automatically just inspired. And you want to be able to play to a level to where you see them, because for them, it's just they grew up in churches, they grew up playing music, they grew up, knowing that history. And so it's a different feeling. It comes from a different place. And so you want to be able to present that as well into your music and be able to play it live in a recording, no matter where you're at in any setting. And so I feel like that is also kind of part of the story that we're trying to teach these young artists, that no matter where you come from, mm-hmm. like just as long as you're inspired, you can do it.
Thank you. That is very inspiring. And you guys, I've been keeping up with you guys. I spent the last 3 New Year's at either a show or watching something digital from you guys. So I am very inspired, and I like actually just making movies, the band, but also media, making films. So it's nice to see that you guys are actually creating documentaries, that you guys are getting into that space also. So this is a question for the people that are really listening from the radio. How does it feel to listen to yourselves on the radio?
Yeah, it's fun. It was definitely exciting the first few times it happened, and you also like in any context where you hear music, it informs how to make it.
Yeah. Because
you're like, oh wait, that's what that sounded like on the radio. Okay, maybe I should tweak this and this. It's kind of part of that process. So it's really fun.
Yeah, that's. To me, I just think, oh, how would it be to just listen to my song on the radio or to hear myself on the radio? And I know you guys have a ton of music that has been on the radio, and you guys have a lot of things that are that are going to be coming out soon, and you guys have some exciting shows coming up. I know that this program is going to be out later than your very next show that you have, but you do have a big festival coming up. And part of the reason that we like to do these interviews is because this is a moment in time. We're snapshotting what is going on right now in the world and with you as artists and as musicians. And so is there, like, what can we look forward to from you guys?
We have a brand new album, and I confidently can say, I know artists say this often, like, this is the best work we've ever done, but I think everything we've been through came together to make this record what it is, and I'm really, really proud of it. In a way, I've never felt this way about music we've made. And the other thing that's super exciting is, I mean, it's got to be even more exciting for you. We've been to Panama a lot. We've been to Mexico and played at the Auditorio Nacional, but we've never played the beautiful festival circuit in Mexico. And we've been invited to a few amazing ones. And the most important, like, the festival from Mexico is Vive Latino. Yeah. So if you're an American person, maybe Coachella, picture Coachella or Bonnaroo or something like that. It's like the signature festival, and they invited us.
The lineup is stacked, y'all.
Yeah, the lineup is stacked.
Yeah, we're excited.
As a Mexicano, how's it feel?
Oh man, it's definitely a dream come true. As soon as we announced it, definitely I got hit up from family members, and they're like, we're going. So it's gonna be nice to be able to play there in front of thousands of people and just experience that, and it's gonna be fun to take it all in. So yeah,
man,
we can't wait. I
can't wait for the food.
Yes,
Mexico
and the food
City
too.
food. Oh my God.
Don't make me jealous, you guys.
No mames.
My stomach is currently growling,
Yeah.
so I gotta.
We love Mexican food.
Yes,
here.
yes,
I'm
yes.
also Mexican,
Yes.
so we cannot talk. We're gonna move on. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see, how your journey progresses and to see you guys evolve. I've seen a lot of growth in the past few years, and I'm excited for the new music. Everybody stay tuned. Follow them. Where else can people find you? I know you gave your social media and your websites, but is there, this is your time to give the resources for, artist mentorship or Rebel Song Academy?
Yeah, great. So all the programs I was describing for youth, you can find the information at artasmentorship.org. If you follow the band on Instagram, you can link to the organization's Instagram as well. We're most active on Instagram, but we have a Twitter and Facebook account too. And when we're home, you can find us at Juan Carlos's Family Restaurant, La Fonda. We're often there hanging out. But yeah, please come. The festival in September, we really need you all's support, because that's how this machine of empowering young people, that's the gasoline in the engine. So we need you all to come out and support that. And I think just stay tuned for the new music. Check it out, and tell your friends.
Oh my gosh. Guys, the show is so great. I know you guys have a whole half of the show left. Definitely stay tuned. Well, you are tuned in to the Crown Crafted Music Series, and thank you guys so much.
Besar tu cuello pa' comenzar, descubrir tus paredes y desarmar. Deseo jalar tu pelo pa' invitar a morderme, a morir, resucitar. Y verte frente de mi placar, desnuda y valiente como un animal. Disculpa mi precocidad, no quiero quiero ser grosero, yo te quiero amar. Quiero hacerte revolver, revolver, arroparte en mi red y revolver. Deseo jalar tu pelo y sin pensar tirarnos al suelo y revolcar. Deseo unir nuestro respirar, cumplir anhelos que intentas ocultar, para unirnos a un ritmo que fue escrito en el amanecer del hombre. Si algo espiritual, disculpa mi precocidad. No quiero ser grosero, te quiero amar. Quiero hacerte revolver, revolver, arroparte en mi red y revolver. Quiero hacerte revolver, revolver, arroparte en mi red y ser tu revolver. Déjame, déjame, déjame pasar. Dibuja, Juan Carlos. Quiero hacerte revolver, revolver, arroparte en mi red y revolver. Quiero hacerte revolver, sí, revolver, arroparte en mi red y ser tu revolver, ser tu revolver, ser tu revolver. Thank you so much. Well, thanks once again. Juan Carlos and I play in a band called Making Movies, and we're easy to follow on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And part of our work, we've always felt like music can be a way to engage community. That's why we always like taking these opportunities when we're home in Kansas City to do things with community organizations. And part of our work, we've started a community organization to impact young people. We started with a music camp that Juan Carlos and I and Diego in the band started 10 years ago. in an immigrant neighborhood. And over the course of the last 10 years, it has developed into this robust, not-for-profit organization using music to empower young people. That organization is called Art as Mentorship. And I wanted to say that because in case there's a family out there and you know a young person that has musical talent or musical desires, this organization has done all its programming for free thus far thanks to wonderful support. So you can find out more at artasmentorship.org. And coming from immigrant families, we speak about those issues. This next song is called Pedacito de Papel. You can find it on our album Americana. And Pedacito de Papel means a little piece of paper. And the sad reality of the world that we've created is that sometimes a little piece of paper can be all that separates families from seeing each other and can create great tragedy. And that's kind of what this song is about that endless cycle that some folks get stuck in, unable to reconnect with their loved ones. We'll play happy songs later. All right. Ella prende el café y aprieta en su mano el medallón que cuelga de su cuello para reforzar la fe. Y le dice a su bebé, dando un beso, ella le dice, hoy estamos orando que esta espera no sea en vano. Y dice, su esposo ya salió, cruzó fronteras con el sueño de darles una visa, darles vida y salvación. Pero los meses se hacen años, sin pena, ella prepara su camino a ese país extraño. Todos dicen, espera. Ella sigue esperando. Lleva la prenda en la TV al mercado para ver si vende algo, a comprar un par de días en esta miseria del carajo. Y dice, no puedo creer que el mundo sea tan injusto, ni el destino tan cruel. Espera. Ella sigue esperando. Un pedacito de papel que da vida y da salvación. Una historia escrita en las estrellas. Quiere ver una vida más bella. Ella sigue esperando el pedazo de papel. Darle con empeño para dar vida a tus sueños. Ella sigue esperando. Esperando esa visa, sigo esperando. Ella sigue esperando. Esa visa, sigo esperando. Esperando esa visa, sigo esperando. Esperando esa visa, sigo esperando. No importa lo que dicen, no creas la mentira, te digo la verdad. Cada hombre tiene su derecho, sí, y cada vida tiene su destino, sí. Ayúdame a verla. Esperando esa visa, sigo esperando. 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 mis amores, reina de mis días, te entregué todos mis temores, te entregué toda la vida, te cultivé como un árbol bien plantado, te eché agua todos los días, pero no echaste raíces. Esas flores eran de mentira. Oye, amor de mis amores, qué trampa es la vida. Voy a morir llorando, voy a morir sufriendo después del horror de verte con otro querer. ¿Por qué vivir llorando? ¿Por qué vivir sufriendo? Mejor morir que verte con otro querer. Amor de mis amores. Oye, amor de mis amores, qué trampa es la vida. Tengo la suerte de los pobres y tengo la rabia todavía, porque el peor de mis temores ha llegado ese día. Voy a morir llorando, voy a morir sufriendo después del horror de verte con otro querer. ¿Por qué vivir llorando? ¿Por qué vivir sufriendo? Mejor morir que verte con otro querer. Amor de mis amores, reina de mis días, te entregué todos mis temores. Me tiraste a la calle como un perro callejero, me dejaste ahí tirado, maltratado. Amor de mis amores. Right. I'm having fun. Thank you all for listening, those of you out there. Well, I guess this is our last song. And this is a song that was a blast to create because we didn't write it. We had the blessing of Ruben Blades, Ruben Blades, many people say. He passed us this song he had written it in the 70s. No, he had written it in the 80s, late 80s with Lou Reed. And so almost 30 years ago. But he was speaking about some of the issues that we still face, this reality that the American dream is not the same for everyone. And much like Delilah in the Bible, for some, they fall in love with that dream, and yet it cuts off their hair and steals their power if they allow it. Well, we made an arrangement for it that Ruben liked. He sang it as a duet, and we're going to close the show with that. So we play in a band called Making Movies, but when it's just the two of us,
Nosotros somos
Chaurand.
Chaurand.
But we couldn't have a bottle of rum here because, of course, this is for the library. Made a run to her side for the promises of pleasure, like a kid on a ride, yeah. Well, I completely forgot home. A coyote led the way through the desert's burning sun. Still remember how it felt, yeah, to be reborn when I was standing for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, fingerprinted for the love of Delilah. I was sworn in, oh yeah, for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, then deported for the love of Delilah. Met Delilah long ago. She seduced me with her song, and I swore I'd never rest, yeah, oh, till I won her love. When the migra chopper came, my song turned to a scream. Wheel of Fortune ran me down, yeah, I wasn't wishing, no, for this thing. When I was stranded for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, fingerprinted for the love of Delilah. I was sworn in, oh yeah, for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, then deported for the love of Delilah. If you're home, clap with us. Bop, 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 bop. you all so much.
Nosotros somos
Chaurand.
Chaurand.